Happy Halloween. Hawaii. Okay, it's Halloween. 7:25 a.m. in the morning. I'm getting started a little earlier than usual. I know nobody's here yet when I first talk, but I figure people will be able to hear it on the playback. I've been up for about 90 minutes. I've been up maybe like more like 75 minutes. I've been up. And these are the first words I'm uttering. So it's weird. These are my first words of the morning. And of course, come on, you know what happens in the morning. So this is a cup of Joe, and I have to clarify something here. And I want people to understand this, and I'd like people to get it straight after I take a sip. I'm drinking green tea. This is not coffee. Um, Norman Maslov yesterday didn't seem to understand that when I say this is a morning cup of Joe, what I'm saying is this is your morning cup of Joe. I am your cup of Joe. Get it? I'm your morning coffee. I am your morning event, whatever you want to call it. This is green tea. I understand cup of Joe means coffee. Cup of Joe does not mean tea. I get it. That's not what the name of the stream means. You are getting a cup of me, if you so desire. Yes, yes, it's very hot. This mug that I'm using today, I got this as a gift many, many, many years ago. And usually you get a gift like this, it just kind of like sits on the in the cabinet. I had to really wash this good. God knows how much dust was in here. But I figure it's time to use it. This is a much bigger cup. Oh yeah. This is bigger a bigger cup. I could fit more stuff in here for what that's worth. All right. So to start us off, we have Padge. Haven't heard from you in a while. Padge, how you doing? Going good? And of course we got Robbie. Hello, Robbie. And we got Mike. And Mike, well, Robbie, I'm sorry, it's early. Robbie says it's a play on words, Cup of Joe. Absolutely. What was my reaction after Matthew Perry's passing? I talked about that last Sunday morning. I don't, it's a fair question. I kind of like want to be careful as I answer it. Basically, here's the thing. It's very sad when somebody dies. It's sad when somebody wrecks their own life. And Matthew Perry wrecked his life. He ruined his life. He made those choices. And it's sad anytime a person dies too young. I think he was 54. 54 is too young. Having said that, I've never been a fan of the show Friends or anything to do with Matthew Perry. So just for me personally, it's not of my generation. It's not my, somebody that I grew up with in my childhood or young adulthood or anything. So for me, the death of Matthew Perry didn't touch a nerve, but except for the fact that it touches sort of a nerve in the sense that he was young and he ruined his life and threw it in the garbage. But you see, the thing is, I have a hard time uh, dealing with people who were blessed by God, blessed. They have good looks, they have good health, they have fame, fortune, popularity. He could have any woman he wanted, that kind of thing. You get all the money you want. You're comfortable for the rest of your life. And then he, by his own admission, because I heard some audio of him, he said, but that wasn't enough. Of course, after a while, people say that all that kind of fame and fortune, wealth, isn't the answer anyway. I know George Harrison said that too. George Harrison said that. And then he just decided to take drugs and drink. And we don't know yet, but I'm absolutely sure that the reason why we'll find out with the autopsy he wound up dying was his body was probably weakened, his heart, everything was like shot because of the way he lived his life. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. Lord knows there's things I need to do and I'm trying to do. But yeah, so this is a long answer. I don't want to have to address this over and over and over. Matthew Perry, it's sad that he died at such a young age. But, and I always add this part. I also extend this feeling to my own sister who I loved. My sister died, in 2011. My younger sister died from drugs. But when I say drugs, my sister got addicted to uh, prescription pills. She had medical problems, and over the years, she just took a lot of prescription pills, and then she wouldn't stop even when she was better. So she made the choice, and I miss her. But I always feel like that about people who throw their lives away on substances. I don't know what else to say. You know. Okay. Sorry, I missed a lot of people here. Hello, Jerome. What do I think about Jimi Hendrix? I think Jimi Hendrix was obviously a fantastic, great, mesmerizing guitar player, and I love the album "Are You Experienced?" I like that all the way through. But that's as much as I could say about Jimmy. Okay, yeah, that's funny. I guess you could say Matthew Perry, rest his soul, was not my cup of tea. I guess that's a good way of putting it. Hello, Paulina Angel. I hope you're still here. Paulina says, just stopping by to wish you a great one. I'm heading off to bed. It is a great Halloween. This is Halloween. I'm a horror guy. I like horror movies. I got a Frankenstein meets the Wolfman poster there that you can barely see over here. Um, so thank you all for joining me. I'm going to mention this a few times during today's show. I'm going to say that I'm probably going to do something for Halloween tonight, Eastern time. I don't know what time exactly, but it's not going to be here. It's going to be over at my movie channel. So you know, excuse me. So join me at my movie channel. For those of you who don't know my movie channel, it's on YouTube. It's called Mayo's Offbeat Movies. And please go over to Mayo's Offbeat Movies. Tonight I should have a live stream for Halloween, I hope, where we'll talk mostly about horror stuff. So let's do that. Danny Ambrosi, good to see you, Danny. We've been wondering about you again. You haven't been around as much as you usually are, so I did kind of miss seeing you around. So thank you very much. Yeah, he says have a safe trip tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow evening, in the evening, we're going to be taking a plane and we're going to be going to another place. So I'm not, as I say, I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to the flight, and I'm not looking forward to the airport. And I'm not looking forward to all that rigmarole. Maybe I'll get a rant video out of it. Who knows? Uh, well, I know this guy here isn't Martin McGrath. He's a Martin McGrath. I think what's the word? Critic on the bottom. Okay. Stephen McVeigh. Good morning. Still working till lunchtime in Scotland. Thank you very much, Stephen, for coming here. What do I think about George Harrison's autobiography? You were talking about "I Me Mine." I've only really, I mean, they got a nice copy there's a nice book up there. At the somewhere up there. I don't know where I got it now. The expanded version of "I Me Mine." I've only ever looked at it for the song descriptions. Really, to tell you the truth, I've only ever looked at it to see what he thought of certain songs. I'm going to turn my cup around the right-handed cup, so to speak. This is very heavy. I've started using a different cup here. Today I'm trying this cup. I said earlier, this is a cup that I've had from a gift a long time in the closet cabinet. And I had to wash it out because God knows how much dust and mold was sitting in here over the decade. Well, I don't know how long I've had it, but maybe 7 years, 6, 7 years. I don't know. And I could fit more tea in here, but there's only one tea bag. So one tea bag doesn't really do the trick for a cup like this, I don't think. But Okay, Rory says that Paul's tour in Australia seems to be going very well. Yeah, by all accounts, it's going well. By all accounts, he's given a good show. By all accounts, he sounds pretty good considering what he's been up against with his age and his voice of recent last decade or so. So glad to hear that. And you probably know, or if you don't, I was thinking of doing this every single morning. I've been doing this the last few mornings in a row, and I'm trying to see if I can make this a regular thing. But there is such a thing as if you overstay your welcome kind of thing. Sometimes they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So it's not always good to be here. And again, I'm having some morning issues. I have issues with my throat because I wake up dry. I snore. I snore like that. You wake up and your throat's all dry and a little sore. So and I had a shave this morning. See, that's the thing too. If you're gonna do this in the morning, I don't want to come on here every morning looking like a bum. So I had a shave this morning and I showered early, washed my hair early, because I wanted to come on here, like, instead of throwing on an old baseball cap. Um, that's the only drawback of being on here early and doing these cup of joes early in the morning. You know. So yeah, so that's the only thing. I don't want to have to get myself all made up. Makeup, please. Makeup, hair. I don't want to have to do that every single morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning, every single morning. It's one thing to get ready around 9 a.m., 9 a.m. or something, start getting into the shower and stuff. But I don't know about seven. Anyway, there's not a lot of comments here anyway this early. 30 people right now. That's good. But what are my thoughts on the U.S. media back in the '60s trying to claim the Beatles were an American band? I've never heard that. I don't doubt that it happened, but I don't recall that. So, what's my favorite hard rock band? Well, Led Zeppelin I consider hard rock. I like Led Zeppelin. The Who, maybe, right? Would you say that's hard rock? Are you talking more along the lines of like real heavy metal kind of stuff? So, happy Halloween. Here's my man and split my spleen. Wah! Happy Halloween. That's a song by Zachary. And I think for tonight's show, again, there's going to be a Halloween show over at Mayo's Midnight Movies. Make sure you check that out later. I haven't decided what time it's going to be. It's going to be sometime tonight. It could be 6 p.m. Eastern. It could be 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock Eastern. It could be anything. So please, 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 if you would, go over to Mayo's Offbeat Movies and subscribe if you haven't. And anyway, whether you subscribe or not, that's where the show is going to be tonight. I'd like to have other people on with me, but I don't know who out there that's a horror movie fan. My regular people who join me on the movie talks, people like Gary, people like Tom and Tim and Beetle Babe, they're all welcome. But they're not exactly horror people, right? So I mean, I don't really know, but happy Halloween. I'm pretty sure that's not the real Martin. I think that's somebody that doesn't care for Martin, from what I can tell. But as I say, see, I'm not going to let that's the thing. You know, Martin McGrath is not the subject of all my chats. So I got to keep an eye on that. All right. Let's see. Where are we at here? My favorite hard rock bands are Led Zeppelin, The Stones, and Aerosmith. Hello, Henry, by the way. Um, if you consider the Stones hard rock, then the Stones are number one for me. The Stones are my second favorite band. What's my favorite movie to watch for Halloween? Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Having said that, I'm not going to watch Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein this year, only because I recently saw it on the big screen. It came back to the movie theaters or what a theater I went to. So that's why I'm not gonna do it. Um, how about a little Archie? I'm gonna go back up there. Jerome says, "How about a little Archie?" Oh, wait a minute, Jim. He says, "Huh? Wait a minute, geez, there, read it. I mean, Stretch Cunningham died, and I'm supposed to talk. You don't understand. He never delivered no urology." There you go. There's Archie. Do you know what band backed up George Harrison at Bangladesh? Well, a part of it was Badfinger, I thought. Some members of Badfinger. Paul was signing autographs in Australia for fans outside the hotel. Lucky them. Oh yeah, sure. In Australia, he'll sign. Yeah, Australia, but don't do it over, in New York. I know, I know. What about what happened to John? Remember that the guy who killed John, the idiot that killed John, came from Hawaii. Okay, he wasn't a New Yorker. So, good morning to Earth. It's hard to say your name, Earth. The planet Earth. Hi, Earth. Good morning. Do you think the monkeys would have never happened if it wasn't for Hard Day's Night in Hell? Probably not. Probably not. That's an interesting question. I think the monkeys came along to be like the Beatles, the American Beatles, and I love the monkeys. Good morning to Woodland Goblin. Now he's Woodland Goblin 2025. Tanner Johnson, hello. Never haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. I hope you've been well. I'm definitely excited for now and then Thursday. I've got the Marble 7 in and the cassette pre-ordered. So do I. I ordered the cassette and I ordered the Marble 7 inch. On the release date, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Oklahoma. So I don't know what's going to happen with the delivery. You know, Yeah, here's another guy. Oh, it looks like a different Martin McGrath. You know. Um, it could be Martin himself. Martin loves to start stuff up, so it could be Martin. Who the hell knows? I know there's somebody here that doesn't like Martin. Um, let's see. Danny Ambrosi says Badfinger, correct. So there you go. I got the question right there when he said who backed up Georgia Bangladesh. Yeah, there you go. Did you used to watch TV until the hymn was played? I don't recall that. I know what you mean, but the old days. I mean, I don't remember if I did that. I know they had this thing. You're talking about when they used to shut off for the evening and play a hymn. Let's see. Woodland Goblin says, Joe, I won't be knocking on your door for candy today. Well, not many people will. First of all, again, we got another crap day, another gray, ugly, drizzly, rainy, wet day out there. Uh, you know, let's see. So anyway, and even if it's a beautiful, sunny, perfect day, kids don't come to the house to trick or treat like they did when I was a kid. I mean, everything was better then, everything, and they don't do that anymore. You maybe get one person ringing your doorbell all day, maybe two. I mean, that's nothing compared to when I was growing up. We were out there morning, noon, and nights. So Henry says the monkeys are good. I'm not sure if they're a top 10 band. Well, they're in my top 10, so that's what I care about. What's your favorite Bela Lugosi movie that is not a Dracula movie? Well, there are a lot of them really. There's one called The Raven. There's a version of The Raven with Bela Lugosi that's very good. Son of Frankenstein. Bela Lugosi's in Son of Frankenstein playing Igor the Shepherd. It's a great role. Um, uh, there were more too. There's a movie called The Body Snatcher that has Carla Van Lugosi in it, and there's a lot of other ones. Am I going to wear a costume tonight on my live stream? It's funny. I had no intention whatsoever of doing that. I don't have a costume. The only thing I have is up here. If you look by my finger, it's hard to do this. Oh, geez, this way here. There's a Dr. Zaius. That's a Dr. Zaius orangutan mask from Planet of the Apes. You can see the eyes cut out. That's the only thing I got as far as Halloween. I was starting to think, although it might be a little late for this, I don't know if they have Halloween stores open, but I could go and buy a Halloween costume today. I mean, this is ridiculous because today, this year on Halloween, what Miss Mayo and I have to do is we have to go around and get prepared and buy last minute things for because we're flying tomorrow. We're going away tomorrow. So today is going to be spent running around town, doing last minute things, getting some, I forget what they call them, sundries. Is that what they call it? Drugstore items, maybe, you know, little shaving cream you take with you, the little things you bring on the plane. We have to like go around and we have to go to the bank. We got to take care of some finances. There's a lot we got to do. But I'm thinking if there's any Halloween stores open, maybe it'd be interesting. Let's see. Woodland Goblin says that's your area, not mine. Well, maybe that'll be true, but I got to tell you that Halloween is big here where you are. Let me tell you something. Don't forget, I live in New York, okay? A suburb of New York. Let me tell you, where I live, I mean, New York, you know how New York is, right? New York, I mean, that's where everybody is the crowd, everybody, people. And believe me, it doesn't happen here anymore. But you can say, oh, well, Woodland Goblin's in New Jersey. Oh, okay. Well, New Jersey's just as good as New York, so you know what I'm talking about. But the thing is, you can't tell me that Halloween today is as big as I don't know. You're kind of old, Woodland Goblin, right? You're in your 40s, right? You can't tell me that Halloween in 2023 is as big as it was in '73. You can't tell me that. You know, 50 years ago. There's no way you could tell me that. Rory says, "What versions of the new Beatles releases have you ordered?" I ordered the 12-inch black vinyl, which I don't know why I did that because it's standard black. Who cares? But yeah, I got that, and I also got the 7-inch marble, and I also got the cassette tape, and I also got the 6 LP colored LP, 6 vinyl slipcase set. So that's what I got. What Beatles song you can't stand listening to anymore? Let me put it this way to you, Padge. There are many, many Beatles songs I'm tired of hearing. I'm going to save that because it's a video series I've been thinking of making. I'm going to make a video in the not too distant future where I'm going to talk about the top 10 or so Beatles songs that I'm really sick of hearing. Okay, to tell you the truth, and then I'm going to do top 10 Beatles songs that I am not yet tired. I could listen to all the time. I'm not tired of them. Hello, Dave Pounds. Dave Pounds says, "You're up early today, Joe. I bet I'm up early every day, Dave. I wake up anytime from 5 a.m., which is too early. I don't want to wake up 5 a.m. I like to wake up about 6:37. That's my wheelhouse. But yeah, so I've been doing this the last few mornings. I may do this every morning. I'm not sure. So anybody watching this, if you like this, tune in for a cup of Joe. This is tea, not Joe. But you can tune in for your morning cup of Joe every morning, maybe. Just check here. Just check here, and you may see me or not, depending. Okay. Anyway, Dave Pound says I heard the Lennon piano demo of Now and Then. It's a bittersweet song with a high pitched Lennon vocal. Will be interesting to see what the other three Beatles did to the song. Yeah, I don't really like the demo. And John doesn't even sing clearly. It's not even like a you know, proper kind of thing. If that's the real Martin McGrath, he says, "What WTF is going on here? If this is bullying, it's not nice." Well, I would think you like it because the person with the initials IR is your hero, and you love it. So I would think that you like this bullying, not by me, but by people in the comments. Don't you think it's funny? Don't you think it's good humor? Don't you think it's clever? Don't you think it's honest? You like honesty, you like cleverness, you like bullying. So I think you'd like that. No? Oh, I don't know. I thought it was right up there for your cup of tea, Martin. All right. And Woodland says, like Joe doesn't want candy and chocolate today. I know I do. Well, you do, but I'm not having chocolate and candy now. I haven't had it in a while, so. But do I like pumpkin pie? Henry wants to know. Yes, I do like pumpkin pie. I'm also trying to stay away from that lately. So, what do I think about folk horror movies? I don't know what folk horror movies are. I'm sorry. Woodland Goblin says Joe is in the city. I'm not. I'm not in the city. No, I'm not. Let's see. Patch says in Dublin, Halloween is still big in Dublin. Henry says I still Henry Henry is 21 years old. So Henry says I still see decorations, Halloween themed movies, horror trick or treating. Halloween is still big, Joe. Well, you're 21, so what's your point of reference? I remember from the early 1970s. To me, with my own eyes, the decorations are not as big as they were in 1970. I can tell you that, or 73 or whatever. But that you know, it's no big deal. I'm glad. I'm glad that some people still like Halloween, and some people see it. Again, I'm going to mention again, by the way. I'll mention this several times to plug. I'm going to be doing a live stream tonight over on my other channel. If you don't know my other channel, please go there and subscribe. My other channel is called Mayo's Offbeat Movies, and I just put up a video for Halloween that ranks the Halloween movies. You know, the movies with Michael Myers. Well, I ranked them, so please check those out. Okay. And Woodland Goblin continues to say, it depends on where you live. That's all I know. Well, I'm telling you that where I live used to be really amazing 50 years ago. It no longer is. I live in a very big, widely populated area. And let me tell you, it's not what it was. And that's all I want to say on that. Um, in your opinion, up to John's death, which Beatles had the most and best solo singles? Well, Paul was always the one that had the most singles. I mean, that's not, I mean, he always was the one. Wait a minute, I might have missed a lot of comments. It's a shame that this happens. Let me see. Okay, I'm scrolling now. Uh, and we continue with the Halloween. The reason it doesn't seem as big anymore to you, Halloween, is because you're an adult, Joe. Halloween is a lot more important with kids. Henry, adult or a child, I know that when I was home 50 years ago, the bell would ring off the hook and the buzzer would break because you'd have hundreds of kids morning, noon, and night coming, and you ran out of chocolate and candy. Okay? Child or adult, the fact is the bell rings once. You don't have to be a child or an adult to realize that the amount of trick or treaters has tapered wildly off in the last several years. Plus, it's more dangerous and you're going to get more likely to get killed these days. Okay? So there's a lot of reasons why. Okay? Yeah, I'm starting a morning rant that people love it, but this is how I am, folks. If you don't like it, lump it. I'm very animated. I'm emotional. It has nothing to do with being a child. All you have to do is have a pair of eyeballs. My eyeballs know that there was a lot more houses decorated around my area in 1973 than there are in 2023. People don't decorate here as much as they did then. I mean, it has nothing to do with how you appreciate it as a child. If you're talking about the spirit of Halloween, I'm like a big kid and I'm proud of it. Damn proud of it. Damn proud that I'm a big man child. I love it. That's why I'll always be young, always at heart. And the thing is, I still have the spirit of Halloween all around me. I'm going to watch Halloween movies today. I'm going to be doing a Halloween live stream tonight. So I still have that inner child with me, but let's not get them mixed up. Well, saying that, well, you don't think a lot of people. The reason a lot of people aren't ringing your doorbell as they did 50 years ago is because you were a child then. How does that work out? Cheers. Nice. My tea is already, like I said, it's already cooling off. The tea is already cooling off, especially in a big cup like that. But I will get to the point where I get myself a nice hot thermos or something at some point. Let's see. I'm falling behind here. And Woodland says, "Exactly, Henry. Exactly, Henry." So I wound up like, making a fool out of you too, Woodland. you know. So believe what you want. It's ridiculous. What songs are you disappointed that are not included on the red and the blue? Which ones you would have not have put on there? Well, I've done a lot of talking about that on some of my. If you want to hear more of that, turn into my live stream, the one that I did with Kid O'Toole and other people and Tom and Yachty. But it's just personal opinion. We could talk about this all day. There's some songs that people think should not be on there. I don't like Roll Over Beethoven being on there. I like the song Roll Over Beethoven. I love Roll Over Beethoven, but I don't think it should be on this album. And I don't think You Really Got a Hold on Me should be on this album, even though I love You Really Got a Hold on Me. I don't think I Want You, She's So Heavy fits on this album. I don't think Glass Onion should be on this album. Uh, those are just some. I think Do You Want On the other hand, I think Do You Want to Know a Secret with the George vocal should have been on the Red album, even though I personally don't care for that song. See how I can do that? I can be objective. If I like a song, that doesn't mean it's got to be on there. And if I don't like a song, doesn't mean it has to stay off there. I just think Do You Want to Know a Secret fits the album better. So Danny says, I heard the new Rolling Stones album last night. The only song I did not like was the last song called Rolling Stone Blues. I agree with you. Rolling Stone Blues, to me, I think the new Stones album should have ended right with Sweet Sounds of Heaven with Lady Gaga. That should have been the very last track because it's a grand, gospel-y, earth shattering kind of farewell song. That should have been the last song on the album. I know why the Stones put the Rolling Stone Blues on there. They put it on there because that's the song by Muddy Waters. It gave them their name, and it's goes back to their roots and how they became the Rolling Stones. So I understand that completely. But to me, it's the only track on there I don't care for. But I look at it the way Her Majesty is on the Abbey Road, or they throw something like "Dig It" on Let It Be. It's not something I really look at as part of the album. All right. Tanner says, I've actually been listening to that new Rolling Stones record even more than the Beatles here lately. I never thought I'd say that. Me either. It's fantastic. The new Rolling Stones album, which I don't have handy now, it's over there. Hackney Diamonds is fantastic. I got a guy under my video for the review that continually slamming the new Rolling Stones album. Slam all you want. I tried to tell him you're just a lone voice in the vast wilderness. Nobody Nobody, maybe like 1 out of 10 people don't care for the album. 1 out of 10. So you keep on crying all you want, but it's not making a dent. The same as with me, I don't like the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album, and I fully accept and own the fact that I'm just one little voice in the big, big world. I realize that. So, Henry says Halloween is tied with Christmas as my favorite holiday. Christmas is not my favorite holiday at all. There's too much tension, too much running around, too much, having to be jolly all the time, even if sometimes you don't feel it. Whoa! I got another. What is that? I wish I could highlight that. I don't know how to highlight that. Well, there is a way to do that, isn't there? Let me see if I could do that. Uh, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Robbie. Robbie gave me a $20 super chat. I appreciate that. If anybody else is inclined to help out, I put a lot of effort into the channel, a lot of time. Anybody would like to help out, I appreciate that. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you did that, Robbie. Thank you, thank you. Good morning to DJ Trish. Getting ready for Halloween, Trish? You got Halloween mixes there? CD mixes? Do you mostly watch these days on on TV, or do you still watch shows and movies in your cable? Isn't TV and cable the same thing? I don't know. Excuse me. Early in the morning with throat stuff. Uh, Martin McGrath says, "You are a man, baby." I agree, Joe. Thank you for the compliment. If you think you're insulting me, you got a long way to go, Martin. There's nothing like being young at heart. Nothing. And I imagine you'll continue to be a trolling piece of garbage that likes to make waves everywhere you go. And as a result, you're going to probably die young or be kind of withered as an old man. That's what I think. But anyway, see what we go. Oh, I missed a lot of these. Oh, wow. I might have to retype things, but let's go. Renee Rodriguez says the four CD set. Wow. The four CD set of the Red and Blue album sold out at the Beatles website. Bummer. Well, yeah, but I think they sold out once before, then they put them back on. So you never know. There might be more. Um, Woodland Goblin, that remains to be seen tonight where I'll be. Did you know Burt Young died from Rocky? Yes, I do. Burt Young died. Yes, indeed. Uh, what can I say? Okay. Let's see. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. How's Bazooka Joe doing? He's under treatment right now. He's doing well, but he's undergoing treatment. Thank you for asking. Do you mostly watch? Yeah, we did that already. I'm trying to catch up, folks. I'm sorry about this. I don't like falling behind. Do I think the Stones will tour next year? I hope not, but who knows with them? They may. Martin McGrath says, I wouldn't keep mentioning the fact that I don't like pet sounds. It doesn't do your credibility any good. Well, it depends. A lot of people like you tend to think that all I do is say positive stuff. You're always going around, Martin, saying that I don't criticize things because I want to keep up a reputation, and I don't want to piss on anybody, like any of the stars or celebrities or record companies. Goes to show you I don't give a shit. I'll tell you what I think. And I think Pet Sounds stinks except for three songs. Cheers. No need to highlight my comments, Joe. I'm not highlighting anybody's comments here. I'm not highlighting any of the comments here because I'm not on StreamYard. Okay, Einstein. When I'm on StreamYard, that's when I'm able to physically put them up here. When you're on regular YouTube, which I do here in the morning, cup of Joe usually, I can't do it. So you notice there's no comments that are highlighted. And then Martin says it's like having a movie channel and dismissing The Godfather. Well, let me tell you this, Martin. You spend your life as if you think there are facts. Everything's right, everything's wrong. There's no opinions here. So I do things about opinion, you see. Things are opinions. They're not facts. In this regard, we're talking about music and stuff. The only fact there's only one fact. The Beatles are the greatest band that ever lived. That's the only fact when it comes to music. Other than that, uh let's see. Okay. Okay. You're really pushing it today, Martin. You're pushing. I let you stay a long time. You keep it up, you're going to be blocked again. So, you're saying stuff here that you really should not uh, be putting up here, okay? So knock it off. Because again, you and the things you're saying are derailing this conversation. You're kind of making everything about you, and we can't do that. Norman Maslov, good to see you here. You know, I'm thinking about doing this on StreamYard some mornings, and if I do it on StreamYard, I can have Mazzy or whoever wants to come up on with me. You know, you can't do that. I can't do that as far as I know here on YouTube. Well, I think there might be a way, but I don't know how. Mazzy, did you hear my explanation about the cup of Joe? You said yesterday on Rachel's stream, you said this is a cup of tea. Cup of Joe is coffee. I understand. The title, Morning Cup of Joe, is about coming here for a cup of Joe. You see what I mean? A cup of Joe Mayo. That's what it's about. It's not about my beverage of choice, just so you know that. Let's see. Jake wants to know what happened to Bazooka Joe. I'd say if you don't know what happened to Bazooka Joe, I don't know. Please watch a video that he did a little while ago. There you go. FD Superstar agrees with me on Pet Sounds. And I know that I'm not alone when it comes to that. So yeah, and Henry says, I like when Joe says stuff like, I dislike The Shining. I don't agree, but it shows that Joe isn't going with the pack. He's being his own person and forming his own opinions. Always, always, always. Um, okay. Trish has Lipton tea, Joe. Lipton is my favorite. This is not Lipton. This is Bigelow green tea. I drink green tea. I mean, sometimes when I go to the diner, we'll probably be going to breakfast in an hour and a half out to a diner. When we go to breakfast, I'll probably have regular Lipton's tea. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate that. Do I like Rumors by Fleetwood Mac top to bottom, just as you do Hackney Diamonds? Yes, I do. I like Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Every song on Rumors I like. I think it's a great album, one of my all-time favorites. You have many albums in that category, liking them top to bottom. Ones that come to mind, not many non-Beatles albums. One of them that comes to mind that I like from start to finish is um, yeah, I said Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Also, Blondie's Eat to the Beat album. I like Eat to the Beat all the way through. Um, I also like these are all women I'm noticing here. Oh, Hackney Diamonds, of course. There's another one. What's the one? Oh boy, Cindy Lauper. She's so unusual. I like that all the way through. There's not that many. The Beatles stand unique in that a lot of times to me. Maybe Full Moon Fever by Tom Petty. I'm not sure. Duncan Moss likes Buku's of Blues. A lot of people like that. DJ Trish says green tea is good tea. Yeah, it is, but I'm wondering, is this? I gotta look it up on Google. Is there such a thing as having too much tea? This is decaffeinated tea. I try to get my tea decaffeinated where I can, but if you drink too much tea, that can't be too much of anything is not that good, right? Or is it a case where tea can hurt you if you drink a lot? I don't know. But I've been drinking a lot, like, I have lately, I'm having it every morning, and I have it every night. I have at least 2 cups a day, at least. Woodland Goblin says, "Free as a bird, real love, and now and then are all slow, dreary type of songs." I don't feel like real love is slow and dreary. I think they were able to, like, spice that up a bit. But yes, free as a bird. Now and then it's slow and dreary. Be careful if Mazzy's still here. He tries to paint you as kind of like a hypocrite. And I say that I don't say that nasty. I don't mean that in a nasty way. He tries to say he brings up Strawberry Fields Forever. He says, that's a slow song. That's a dreary song. Well, come on, apples and oranges. It's a great song, and it goes a lot of different places. Strawberry Fields, even though it's on the slower side, it's very dreamlike, and it has all kinds of different effects and moods to it. It changes, you know. So it's not boring. It's not the same thing. Too much tea makes you pee. Well, I'm doing that anyway, so so I don't have to worry about the pee. Do I like peppermint tea? I love it. I've never tried peppermint tea, so I probably would like it. I think I'm caught up in the comments now. So there you go. Well, you see, that's the thing. Norman Maslov says, Mazzy, he says, great and slow and dreary isn't bad at all. I love the moody stuff. Well, see, that's the thing I'm trying to say. Who can explain? Sometimes it's not one size fits all, right? Like, I love Yellow Submarine. I don't like Altogether Now. Both of them are children's songs, right? I don't really like the frog chorus by Paul. We all stand together, but you see, so that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's not one size fits all. I mean, Blue Jay Way is slow and dreary, but I like that better than Free as a Bird. You say, or whatever. But did I say I was going to do a Halloween Mayo lounge later? I didn't think of it that way. It could be a Mayo lounge. I was going to do a Halloween movie chat because I might do that. Um, so I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be a Mayo lounge, which is probably a better idea. I could have people join me, but I could do a Halloween Mayo lounge, which is a free for all zaniness where everybody can come up, or I could do just myself over at the movie channel and do a Halloween movies kind of thing. So either way, stay tuned, and I'll put a thumbnail up. I think I'll try to put a thumbnail up, but you got to check both channels. Check this one, Mean Mr. Mayo, and check the other one, Mayo's Offbeat Movies, to see if I wind up going over there. I really don't know. So there you go. Um, well, that's interesting. SM says, read up on decaf. They add chemicals in the process of making coffee and tea decaffeinated. There are pros and cons to everything. Well, I appreciate that because I don't want to have a lot of chemicals, so I got to look in on that. So, let's see. Martin says another ridiculous take I heard that is "Fool on the Hill" is the worst song on Magical Mystery Tour. When people talk like that, I think they're thick or trying to be different. See, the thing again, Martin just can't understand the concept of opinions. He's right. He's always right. His opinions are always the rule. Wait a minute, that sounds a little like me. No, but seriously, I'm very strong about my opinions. Anybody listening, the thing is, I believe in my opinions. I'm very strong about them, and of course, I feel my opinion is with good conviction and why I believe in it. Having said that, I love the song "Fool on the Hill." So I happen to be with Martin on this one. I do like "Fool on the Hill." Earth says all the Beatle albums you like them all the way through. Absolutely, every album, every Beatles album I like all the way through. Absolutely. Loser list says what time for the Halloween chat? I'm not sure yet. Um, I'll try to put up a thumbnail. Either whether it's on the movie channel or whether it's on this Mean Mr. Mayo channel. I will put up when I know the time. It could be 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. It could be anything like that. Probably more like I'm thinking around 8 o'clock, but I'm not sure. So let me just think about it. So, are you going to watch any Universal monster movies tonight? I am. George Alexander. I don't think I've heard from you in a while. Um, I might. I should. Maybe I will. If I do, I may watch Son of Frankenstein. I'm not sure. Sorry, I can't seem to find the video about Joe. Go into my playlists Go into the playlist. It shouldn't be that far back. I mean, it's a video about Bazooka Joe from Infinity, and if you go into my playlist and you look up the Record Store Reality, you know, what is there to say? Why don't I just tell you that, the man the man has cancer, he's getting treatment. I mean, it's a lot simpler, right? I mean, I'm so I just tell you. It's just that, yeah, yeah. So that's what it is. He's getting treatment. You see, there's an example right there. Martin McGrath says, "Hey Bulldog, I friggin' love that song. It's meaningless, but who cares? It's great." There you go. Now, other times you may say, and I do this too, you may say, "I don't like such a song." What is it supposed to mean? You see what I mean? If you're not liking a song, you may say, what a lot of meaningless tripe." You know, but if you are enjoying a song like "Hey Bulldog," and I agree with you, you say, "Who cares that it's meaningless? It's great." That's the way it is. One size does not fit all for everything. Yep, that's great. That's the truth. TCB Mike wants to know my top three Beatle albums. That depends on what day it is. Depends on what day it is. I can't tell you that. That changes all the time. Right now, at this moment, I would say in no particular. This is no particular order. It would be with the Beatles. It would be the White Album. Hmm, it's tough. With the Beatles, the White Album, I don't know. It may be Magical Mystery Tour right now, but that'll be different. What do you think is the best Beatles song for Halloween time? I don't think, sadly, I don't think they have a song that really fits Halloween very much. To tell you the truth, I think the closest thing is the John Lennon song "Scared" off Walls and Bridges. Woodland Goblin says, "I need to score some hot she devil tonight or something." Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You better have a big wad of bills. Just having fun, Woodland. Martin says, another take. When someone says Wings over the Beatles, he goes, you know, then he says, "I'd gladly punch that person." Laugh out loud. Sorry. Imagine saying that. Do you think Now and Then might be released on an individual CD anytime? Again, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just same as you. I have no idea. It's just a guess because right now, no. But they haven't said anything. I haven't heard anything about it. It should be on a CD single. I don't know why it's not. Do you know why in the past television had a closing hour, but now it's 24 hours? I don't know why that is. No. Lee Sana, good morning. Trivia question. What Beatles song and Badfinger song have the same title? Uh, it must be a more obscure title because I don't know, the popular songs. Unless you're talking about Come and Get It. Other than that, Duncan Moss says Maxwell Silver Hammer has a bit of a Halloween flavor. That's true. Okay, Henry says, I don't mean straight up Halloween themed. I mean Beatles songs dark Beatles songs. Well, Revolution 9, I guess Helter Skelter, Revolution 9. Blue Jay Way sounds spooky. Beetle Jeb says Devil in Her Heart. DJ Trish says Flying. Darren Gamble, hello. Darren, I'm telling you, that famous question you always ask me, it's a good time to ask me. It's funny how you always ask me this question. And now that I love the new Hackney Diamonds album, you never ask me anymore. Yeah, Spooky Weirdness is a Ringo track, yes. I, I'm dying to hear Martin McGrath's opinion of the new Stones album. Okay. Okay, here it is. Darren Gamble says, Rolling Stones, sing please. I wanna get close to you. I wanna get close to you. How's that? I don't know if that's how it goes. I forget something like that. Oh, there you go. Tom Hunyadi says, I listened to the new Stones twice yesterday. It's a banger. There you go. It's a great album. I'm telling you. I go fanatic over that album. Hey Joe, for your information, the Beatles 12 inch is in fact out this Friday. Yeah, Friday is the day of the wedding I have to go to, so the physical media is going to be released the day of the wedding. Yeah, My Mummy's Dead. My Mummy's Dead is another Halloween song, I guess. So there you go. What are the three best tracks off the new Stones album? Oh, I don't know. I like so many, I don't know where to begin. I love Angry. I love Close to You or Get Close. I think it's Get Close. I forget the name of it. Second track. I like everything on there. I don't even know that I can't pick the third one. Those are my maybe my two favorites. I'm trying to think of the third favorite. Some Mess It Up, Mess It. I like Live by the Sword. Oh, of course, Tom says Bite My Head Off is the best track because Paul's on it. I don't think it's the best track, but seriously. Patel says The Creature from the Black Lagoon would be a decent Halloween watch. Well, not really for me because to me the creature is more like it deals with it's more like a summer movie. It deals with water and swimming and that kind of thing. To me, Halloween is more like dungeons and castles and cobwebs and haunted houses and things like that. For me, Bad Fingers Love Me Do. It's better. What's my favorite Beatles album cover? I'm gonna go with Rubber Soul. I think I like Rubber Soul the best cover. The problem with Sergeant Pepper, it's funny, Woodland. Sergeant Pepper cover should be the best cover. I'm just so damn tired of it. You know what I mean? It's been used for everything all the time. It's like it's so overdone. I don't mean overdone originally as it was shot. I think it's a great album cover. Sergeant Pepper should be the best album cover, really. Except to me, it just and Abbey Road cover too. Abbey Road and Sergeant Pepper are the two most over presented covers. I think. I'm not going to sing the TV show Friends. I think that show sucks. Friends. I have no interest in it, so I will not sing it. Sorry. This tea is not hot anymore, of course, but Mm, swallowing it down. So, Beetle Eddie says there's a new horror movie coming out on November 17th called Thanksgiving. It looks good. Yes, it looks very good if you like slasher films. And I am very anxious to see that one. Henry says horror movies are the best. I love how Joe is passionate about horror and the Beatles. Yeah, I like movies, but horror is my favorite. I like music, but the Beatles are my favorite. Lee is going out on a limb and he's saying, I really listened to the original demo of Now and Then last night. It's really beautiful and it has the potential for being truly great. It's going to be epic. I hope you're right because I want it to be epic. I want it to be successful, but I have my reservations that it's going to happen. So, again, caught up again. I'm debating whether or not, because I can do this on StreamYard also. If I do this on StreamYard, I could bring guests up with me and maybe people like Mazzy would come on. Maybe Tom, maybe other people, but it's pretty early where Tom is, although I think pretty soon he's going to be on Eastern time. If I heard the second Now and Then promo yet, I don't. I Are you talking about the video? I haven't heard the promo, but I've seen a video where you just see a cassette tape on a building. It looks like or something, and the Beatles are basically just talking. I'll tell you one thing I did see, and I hope Tom is here for this. I did see an interview with Paul. It looks like it's an older interview. 5 a.m. is too early for me. Oh, I didn't know it was 5 a.m. Sorry. I didn't know. Sorry, but I saw a Paul thing where he talks about Now and Then, and he says, we did Free as a Bird, and we did Real Love, and then we did Now and Then, and George didn't like it. He said, "It was rubbish." That's what he said. He didn't say the tape was he says, "Effing rubbish that was. It was effing rubbish." And then he was like, "Oh, whatever." He goes, "So I just feel now like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. We're going to get Jeff Lynne, I'm gonna do it." And I thought that sucked. That really sucked. I really think on Paul's part, the idea that you know, George made it clear that he didn't like this, and then Paul turns around and says, "But I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna get Jeff Lynne. We're gonna do it." This is years ago, I think. Because Paul's hair didn't look as gray and stuff. So I'm like, wow. Whatever happened to the Democratic thing? If Ringo didn't like it, we didn't do it. Whatever happened to that? So as soon as George dies, it's okay to look. That's a controversial topic. Let's face it. And I'd love to know what people think of that. Oh, this is so silly. Come on, Lee. You say, Joe, you're underestimating the Beatles with Paul McCartney and Giles Martin producing. Why? Well, first of all, the sun doesn't rise and set on Giles Martin. I am not a Giles Martin guy. Let's get that one thing people should know if you don't know already. Giles Martin is completely hit and miss. Some of the stuff he did I liked. Some of the stuff I think he ruined. Okay? Or if not ruined, I think some of the songs lost something. Okay, so I don't think Giles Martin is as good as say Paul Hicks. I think Paul Hicks is much better and more suited for this. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, what do you think? I don't believe that everything these days is gold. Don't forget, um, with Paul McCartney, and you don't think Paul McCartney ever had a track that was a dog? You don't think he ever had a track that was a dog just because it's Paul on there? I mean, well, it remains to be heard. I mean, hey, if I hear the finished product and I think, wow, Paul and Giles, you guys really did great on this. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna eat my words. I have no idea. I haven't heard it. However, I don't just sit there and think to myself, "Oh, it's Paul, it's Giles Martin. Oh, it's gonna be great." I heard the demo. I think it sucks. Okay? It's just John on a piano. He doesn't sing. He's not singing very well because it's just a demo. All some of his words trail off. They're not all full enunciated words because, you know, he- you know, it's not meant to be a track. He didn't record it for it's not a studio take. So it might be good. I have no idea, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. But just automatically, now you're going more on a limb than I. You have now you're committed to saying it's great. And I don't like the fact that they went back to old Beatles songs, as far as I know, because they took because the harmonies from because, and I think somebody said they even took harmonies from here, there, and everywhere, or it's maybe another song too, and they're going to bring that in. Look, it remains to be heard. I don't know, but I don't automatically think it's going to be good. Really? When did look at this? Really? When did Paul mess up a Beatles track? Give me a break, will you? A Beatles track. I don't think "Free as a Bird" is a fantastic classic song, okay? I don't think so, and I don't think we're talking about the '90s Threedle tracks, right? I don't think "Real Love" or "Free as a Bird" is among the best Beatles, classic Beatles, not at all, and I think "Now and Then" is sounds by the demo the least of the 3. When I hear the finished product, maybe it'll be the best of the 3, but right now it's the least. And that's it. Now, of course, Woodland Goblin, being a Paul sycophant, has to sit there and say, "Truly, truly," and he's never going to put Paul down in any way, shape, or form. You know. So anyway, there's your honesty for you. But I don't know. I think it's incredible that people get out here without hearing the new version and just think it's going to be great. And just as crazy as getting out there thinking it's going to be sucky. I mean, I happen to fall more into the latter. I don't know. I've said time and time again, I want to hear the finished product first before rendering a verdict. But I do not like the demo. Nope. Oh, no one slipped caffeine in my tea, Mazzy. I'm always like this. I don't know what I don't know what I'm always like that. I'm always animated. And I always speak my mind, and I'm always very passionate about any subject. It's always the way I am. I don't need the caffeine for that. George Alexander, I want to say something here. Everybody, get ready for this. You talking about that guy Vinyl Rewind? I think that guy Vinyl Rewind is a joke. I've always said that. I never watch his channel. I've been doing this for 12 years. I've watched maybe 3 of his videos in 12 years. Now, recently, one of his videos popped up where he talks about the Red and the Blue albums or whatever. So I said, everybody's talking about it. So I said, let's see what Mister Suit and Tie thinks. He should. It's ridiculous. He sits there by the fireplace, by the brick wall, sit there in a nice big sitting chair, whatever you call it. Leaning back. Oh, my friends, here we are now for another. All it's missing is the cigarette. It's like I think it's ridiculous the way he gets all like suited up. Anyway, and as far as his actual video, he makes mistakes in his videos that make me blush. Okay. And he said something about, he didn't think the covers were too good on the red and the blue and this and that, et cetera, et cetera. That's the first time I heard that, but he doesn't seem to realize, I don't think he knows that John Lennon actually had the idea to put those pictures on the covers. John said, "I thought it would be a good idea to use those covers, the pictures of us, look, before and after, kind of, later, earlier and later." But anyway, so I don't care what what that guy thinks about anything, to tell you the truth. And one other classic one, I watched a video one time many years ago, and he's talking about the Hard Day's Night album, and every time he mentions a certain song, he says, the song "And I Loved Her," I really, blah, 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 "And I Loved Her" is really good, and when Paul wrote "And I Loved Her," It's not loved. How in the world could you have a channel predominantly Beatles and think that the song is called "And I Loved Her," like past tense? Done with that rant. Will Mazzy be appearing more on this channel? I have no idea. If it's 5 a.m. ish over there, wow, that's early. But you're welcome anytime. I think I missed a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Uh, okay. Sorry, folks. I'm just catching up reading. And don't forget George Harrison, one of the Beatles himself, who was there, said he thought that the thing was effing rubbish. So there you go. This is Mazzy's wake up call. Yeah, there's no more tea here. Just well, there's a little bit in here, but it's cold. When I make my tea, I squirt honey in there and a little bit of honey, I should say, a little bit of honey and a little bit of lemon. It all goes to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, that's when you taste the honey. Even though I stir it. Ah, it's so ridiculous. Woodland Goblin says John would be pissed at George if he heard him say that about now and then. How do you know what John would think? John always said about his songs, "Oh, that was just a piece of nothing. Oh, that was just something I knocked off. Oh, that was a piece of garbage, piece of rubbish." He said that about most of his songs. Do you think now and then, if he said that about Strawberry Fields Forever, if he said that about some of his other songs, you think he's going to say that about, he's going to love now and then? It was just something he knocked off on a demo. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Yeah, I love it. That's who I am, animated Joe. That's it, man. So, when did Lennon record Now and Then? I think 78, 1978, around there. I know the other ones too, maybe in the 70s, late 70s, I think. Henry says John mellowed on the Beatles and became proud of them in 19. He was proud. John was proud of them off and on. He was proud of them in the 70s too. In 1970, he said in the Rolling Stone interview, "I can knock the Beatles, but don't let Mick Jagger knock them." He defended the Beatles and stuff. So this and that, and yeah, but in 1980, and I don't know how you could say that he became proud of the Beatles. He said he was proud of his work in 1980 in the Playboy interview. But if you read the list of all the Beatles songs, many of them he just said nothing, piece of garbage, to a lot of them. So there you go. Ah, listen, this is classic. This is classic. Lee says, "I don't need George Harrison to tell me when something is rubbish and something isn't. Maybe you do, Joe." Really? You're the one who started by saying Paul McCartney's involved, Paul's involved, and Giles Martin is involved. I don't need Paul McCartney or Giles Martin to tell me what's good. Same thing. Same thing. I hope you don't mind this spirited debate. I like a good old fashioned Donnybrook now and then. So, what do I care what Paul or Giles think or do? I have to judge from my own ears. You know what I mean? In an alternate universe, don't you think John and Mick Jagger would make a great band together? I think so. I think that would be a good combination. Well, don't give me. Then Woodland Goblin says Lee is a music composer, though. Okay, so I have to listen to Lee for what I like. Lee may not listen to George Harrison to decide if something's rubbish or not, but I don't have to listen to Lee Sana either to decide if something's good or not because he's a musician, right? Or a composer. With all due respect, Lee, I'm just saying, come on, look, you know, Giles Martin. I think that's the most ridiculous thing. They put Giles Martin in there just because he's George Martin's son, just because he has the name Martin and the letter G at the start of his name, like George Martin, Giles Martin. They think, "Yeah, let's put him in there, for come on. There's people that are way more qualified, you know, to me. I'm sorry, as far as yeah, again, look, I'm going to say what I always say. I'm not shitting on Giles Martin 100%. I'm saying that some stuff I liked and some stuff I didn't like. I think he really ruined Helter Skelter on the White Album, and I think he kind of like hurt While My Guitar Gently Weeps by having George's moaning coming over a lot more at the end. I don't think you needed that at the end. Stuff like that. It's all a matter of subjective opinion. Now let's get something straight here. Martin Henry says Martin likes Lee more and more because Lee is upsetting Joe and creating drama. Well, he is creating drama, but upsetting. Let's get one thing straight. Just because you have a hot passion and the blood's boiling and you believe in your convictions, that doesn't mean you're upset in the kind of depressed, mad, angry kind of state. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that. Stephen McVie says, "What are your thoughts on the turmoil we put ourselves through when deciding what we wish to purchase against what we need or can afford?" Well, everybody's different with that. Everybody's budget's different. Everybody has to make decisions, myself included, and it is not easy. It is a lot to mull over, a lot to have to decide. Do you get everything? Do you get some things? Do you get nothing? Can you afford nothing? Can you afford some? It's rough. Woodland Goblin says you didn't like the new revolver either. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Giles ruined. She said by taking those. Even though you know what you know, took out the freaking cymbal crashes that were a highlight of that song. Yeah, he did some good thing. I think he did a good job with Eleanor Rigby. I thought he did a good job with Eleanor Rigby. See, 50-50. But overall, no, I'm going right. I did not like the new Revolver. No, I did not. I'm in the minority. There are a few that didn't like it too. Most people love the new Revolver 2022. I did not. I went and same thing on the like Taxman. Like I got to listen to the tambourine is very subdued. I went back to the original Revolver after I heard the 2022. The 2022 remix made me personally, Joe Mayo, maybe only like 1 out of 20 people, but it made me appreciate the original Revolver more. So, well, I already kind of answered that a little, Lee. Lee says, right, you're right. Giles Martin is a freeloader, sure. The great George Martin's son has no pedigree. That's why he's in charge of remixing and re-immortalizing the greatest rock pop music of all time, right? And I'm like, as I said. It's his name. He's George Martin's son. That's the reason he's got given the job. Nothing's going to change my mind on that. I think there are better producers than Giles Martin. Watched a good horror movie last night where the two main characters were listening to Day After Day, driving along in their car. Cannot remember the name of it, but it starts with a meteor. Interesting. I don't know the movie. I don't know the movie. Martin says Lee Sana should remaster Rubber Soul. Hey Lee, take a crack at it, man. I think based on what I've heard, you probably could do better than George Martin. So I think Lee should be the producer on the Beatles stuff. No, but seriously, let me just say one thing in defense of did I say Giles Martin or George? Giles. Anyway, here's the thing. Um, I, I'm giving Giles Martin so far. Well, let's wait and see what he does with the early mixes. I don't like what he did from 66 to 70, say 66 to 69, but maybe 63 to 65 or so. Maybe those will be really good. I'll let you know. But they're, in my opinion, it's only my opinion I'm talking about here. Please remember that. I'm going to say though, Lee, I appreciate you being here. I do. And I appreciate you talking like this and we can have this dialogue. And I appreciate that, hopefully, you're not going to, I don't think you're the type to take your ball and go home. I think you still will be here. We can have a debate. We can agree sometimes, disagree other times. And that's what it's about. So I want to say that. Yes, Woodland makes a good point. He says, if now and then turns out to be great, Paul's going to look very good. And I agree with you. If now and then turns out to be great, Paul gets all the kudos. On the other hand, if it turns out to be a dog, and I predict this is what I predict. Mark this down on your calendars. You might say this is no big prediction. This is common sense, but I believe it's going to be split. You're going to have 50% of the people love now and then, 50% of the people don't like now and then when it comes out. And but if it's great, Paul's going to get the credit because he pushed for it. He tried to make it happen. If it turned out to be a dog, Paul, Paul's ego or whatever you want to call it, resulted in having a blemish on the Beatles record. So that kind of thing. Martin McGrath is always big on this. Martin says, Lee, you're adding to this debate. Many don't. That's the thing that Martin McGrath always says. I want all you people out there watching this to know this. Right now, I got 68 people watching. I don't know how, well, not everybody's commenting, but watching. Martin McGrath believes that all of you are just mindless sycophants that just praise me and that just agree with everything I say. Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. Not everybody agrees with me. And I would never, ever want that because there's no dialogue, there's no discussion. I don't need everybody to stroke me. That's not the way it goes. Okay. So I appreciate that when people are honest. But yeah, there you go. And then Woodland still defends Paul. He's still defending Paul. He says, but Paul only had so much to work with. If you only have so much to work with, leave it alone. Okay? Just because Paul has this thing about John supposedly saying, think of me every now and then, my old friend. Because John said that to him, he's obsessed with this idea. I got to make now and then happen for himself, for his own ego. Let's face it. He's doing it. Paul's doing this for himself, mostly. Okay? So why not just leave it alone? You know what I mean? Yeah, that is funny. Martin thinks he's special. Thinks he's the only one who stands up to me. But you got to understand, Martin is just that's just the way he is. He just that's why he loves the guy with the initials IR so much. People probably say it. I don't give a shit. You know, even Tom Hagnotti, who a big Paul fan, and he has the Two Legs podcast. That's Paul centric. Even Tom Hagnotti says Paul is definitely doing this for himself. That's why he's doing it, to ease some kind of loss in his mind about John and everything. By the way, folks, I'm running out of time here. I only got about 10 minutes left or so. Well, I say 10 minutes. We can go. It depends. It could be 10 minutes. I might be able to do 20 or so. It depends, something like that. So, but we're having a good time right now. I thought I'm having a good time because I like spirited debate. I mean, it's fun to just say, yes, I think a CD single will come out. Yes, I think that there's going to be a release one day of Paul's archive material. Yes, I think, and then you sit here and you have good discussions. You're Lee, please do me a favor, will you? Lee says you're questioning Giles Martin's special talent because he left a tambourine out of Honey Pie. For it was the tambourine that was kind of quiet. You have to, unless you wear headphones. If you hear headphones, you can hear it. But if you don't listen to headphones, I'm talking about Taxman. I'm not talking about Honey Pie. And it wasn't just that, Lee. I went on rec. I talked about she said with the crashing of the cymbals. I talked about Helter Skelter, where I've got blisters on my fingers was missing. There's certain touches in Penny Lane that I felt were missing, nuances, little ringing bells, things that I've heard that are not as loud as they were. A lot of things are quieted down. So it's not just one thing, it's a series of things. And Honey Pie, the one you mentioned, is not even on my list. So there you go. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm reading other comments. Let me do that. Well, I vote for Lee. I vote for Lee Sana to be the producer of the Beatles albums. Now I know without even hearing any of his work, I know he can do better. I know he could do better. So what is the role of Paul in the new song? People, I don't know everything about that. People could tell me. I know he's adding vocals to it and stuff. He had a lot of credits listed, things he did with it. But um, he plays some instruments besides guitar. I think bass. I think well, whatever he doesn't he play piano or keyboard on it too, Paul? I don't know. I remember hearing a list, and there was a number of things that he did. But you got to remember, you have to remember though that one thing is for sure. Paul again rewriting history. One thing is for definite sure. When he says the Beatles were very democratic, that he made a line saying something like, we could have like a song that we all liked, but say if Ringo didn't like it, then we don't do it, or something like that. Well, George did not like Now and Then, so he violated that. Now, granted, George has passed on. George is not with us anymore. Maybe that's the rationale in Paul's mind. But it was more important, what you want to say, it definitely was more important for Paul's ego and to want this song out because of the Now and Then reference to John. He wanted this out for himself, sod whatever George Harrison felt about it. You have to be honest about it. That is a fact. People say I'm picking on Paul there, but Lord knows I picked on George, right? I picked on George a lot too. Hello, Boyan Archer says, seen your video, but not sure if you mentioned which configurations of these new releases I'm getting. Well, I ordered the 12-inch vinyl single, black. I ordered the 7-inch vinyl single Marble. I ordered the cassette tape, and I've ordered the Red and Blue 6 LP set so far. Jeff Lynne didn't really produce it. I mean, Jeff Lynne has a credit on this song. He's not the main producer, but he has a credit because of the early 1990s tape, I guess. So he's got he's got a credit on it, but he's not the main producer, Jeff Lynne. Rob Obscure Music. Hello, hello. Robert S says, "Good morning. I've been watching for a while. This is a great chat." Well, yeah. Ooh, it's full of energy and muster. And it's I can't stay on much longer either. It always gets good around 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock is usually when I got to get going. But I can go to like 9:10, 9:15, something like that. I could stay on. I could stay on to like another 15, 20 minutes, I guess. So I want. I gotta say, Martin never made me laugh before. I don't think this much. Martin says, "When are we getting the Lee Santa remix?" It's great. I tell you, Martin. At this point, Martin, I would be happy with a Martin McGrath mix. Okay, I'd be happy for Martin McGrath to go in and take Giles Martin's job at this point. That's how I feel about it. Have you seen any footage of Ringo and John talking or doing something together? It's funny. It doesn't really hit me. No, solo years. It doesn't hit me that I can think of one. But I'm sure they're out there, but I just can't think of one right now. Beatletti says, "I heard Paul plays piano and drowns out John's original piano." Well, I don't mind. See, I don't mind. That's why I'm fair. I'm 50-50. Here I'm knocking Paul in one way, and I'm building him up in another way, right? Whatever. It goes by the subject, by the topic. I think that well, Paul. It's okay with me if Paul redoes John's piano on this. That's fine with me. Was that the colored vinyl, red and blue? I ordered. Yes, I ordered the colored vinyl, red and blue. Yes. Oh yeah, I want to say that again. Henry says, "When is the chat later?" Later on, I'm going to do a chat. I'm going to be doing a live stream tonight for Halloween. Now, I didn't think about this. Somebody said, I think Henry said or Martin, somebody said, "Is it going to be a Mayo Lounge that I'm going to do for Halloween?" I'm doing a Halloween chat today. I haven't decided if it's going to be here on the Meet Mr. Mayo channel to bring people up on screen with me, and we could talk, for Halloween, a Halloween party kind of thing. Either that, or I'm gonna be on the movie channel. Then please subscribe because you don't know which one I'm gonna do. That's Mayo's Offbeat Movies. I might do the Halloween chat over there because it was movie topic, really, mainly, mostly. But it doesn't have to be a movie. If you're listening, Robert S., it doesn't have to be a movie topic. But you just have fun on Halloween. Ghosts, goblins. I might just do a Mayo Lounge for Halloween, but it depends who's gonna come up. If anybody wants to come up. Oh, and what time I'm gonna do it, I haven't decided what time. You're gonna have to it could be 6, 7, 8, or 9 PM Eastern, so it's gonna be tonight sometime. Will I be getting the expanded red and blue on CD? Absolutely. The CD is what I'm looking forward to the most. The CD of the red and the blue is gonna be what I'm going to be, listening to. I'm not gonna be listening to the vinyl really, I'm listening to the CD mostly. What's the difference between the 7-inch and the 12-inch? None that I know of, just the size difference. As far as I know, there's no difference on what's on the record. Uh, Jeff Allen says this song will never live up to the hype. I tend to agree. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want it to be successful. Martin McGrath says, "Keep this chat." Well, that's what I've been doing, haven't I? Lately, the morning cup of Joes. Uh, Woodland Goblin says the later the better. Well, no, the later the better, not really, because it's already hard enough for people in England to see it, you know? So everything in the Beatles album One is included in the red and blue, right? I'm not sure of that. Somebody will have to look at that. I don't think so. I don't think everything. I mean, is Ballad of John and Yoko? Is Ballad of John and Yoko on the blue album? It's on the One album. Oh, we talked about trick or treaters already, Tom. No, uh, we got into a big thing, a big debate about that too. As far as I'm concerned, again, today there were hardly any trick or treaters come around my part, not compared to 50 years ago. In 1973, when you were born, Tom, there were tons and tons of trick or treaters um, in my area. Not now. Well, do I think Danny Ambrosi might come up later? Well, it depends if I'm. I don't even know if I'm going to do. If I do a Mayo Lounge for Halloween, I hope that Danny's there. If I just do myself talking about stuff on the movie channel, then no. See the thing. I love when people repeat something because I've ignored it before. Joe says the kids skip your place because they know you don't buy candy for them. Yada yada yada. Well, first of all, how did come on? You said that before, and I ignored it because it was so stupid. I mean, the kids don't know what I have or don't have until they ring the bell. That's how they find out what I have. They ring the bell, right? People do not ring the bell, and I like it that way. I don't want to have that bell ringing off the hook, so to speak, or off the wall all day long. Yeah, I got to start winding this up now. So I think I'm going to do that pretty soon. Got to get ready. I'm going to go now because I got things to do. A few things I want to say here, please. Before don't just go because I want to say a few things. First of all, happy Halloween to everybody. Second of all, I'm going to be having a Halloween thing tonight, Halloween party thing. I don't know whether it's going to be here on Me, Mr. Mayo. Don't know whether it's going to be over at Mayo's Offbeat Movies. So you need to check both because I don't haven't decided. And today I got to do a lot of chores. I got to run around. I got to get a lot of things ready because tomorrow we're taking a flight. We're out of here for a wedding. And so, yeah, Henry, 99 cents. Henry, please don't leave me 99 cents. Do you realize 99 cents? I get practically nothing. They take 30% off. Now people are going to say, how dare you say that? Uh, Anyway, thank you, Henry. People are gonna say I shouldn't have said that because people are gonna say, I can't believe that he said that. Somebody contributed something. Anybody else want to do any last minute show Henry up. Some other people out there, show Henry that you can go higher, higher than Henry. But Henry, no, here's the thing. I had somebody once tell me the only reason you have Henry on here is because he gives money. That's why I'm teasing him about the 99 cents. I'm saying, 99 cents, YouTube takes 30% of nine. What's 30% of 99 cents? I don't even know. YouTube takes 30%. So I'm trying to say I don't only have Henry here just because he gives me 99 cents. Uh, I'm here. He's here because he's a fan of mine. He likes the show. He is a Mayo fan. He likes the horror movies. He likes the Beatles. That's the reason he's here. Okay, that's the reason. I appreciate that. So anyway, did I cover everything uh, about this today? I think so. My tea has run out. My cup of tea, not cup of Joe, but cup of tea, has run out. Henry says, "Oh my, oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't realize you're getting like 11 cents. That 11 cents, boy. I got to make sure I spend that all in the same place. Yeah, but thank you for the people. There's Jeff Allen. Thank you so much, Jeff Allen. I appreciate that. Another buck kicked in. Thank you so much, and I appreciate, of course, earlier on when I got a beautiful $20. That was nice. So thank you. Um, Anyway, I gotta go now. I got a lot to do. It's always wonderful having you all here, and I appreciate all of you. So thank you so much. Peace and love. Peace and love.